Part F, solve 2x cubed plus 6x squared minus 8x minus 24 equals 0. Is there a common term? Oh, yeah, let's GCF. What would that be? Oh, by the way, it's already set equal to 0, so is that an issue? No, but if it weren't, you would set it equal to 0 first, right? And then when you factor it, you have to remember to look for a greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor here? 2. Each term has a factor of 2 in it. So if you factor out of 2, what's left? X cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 12. There you go. And then you still, don't forget the equals 0. Now you still want to factor the inside of the parentheses, don't you, if you can? And okay, so you look at the number of terms. How many terms do you see? 4. So what method do you want to try? Grouping. Okay. So let's look at this first group. Okay, I'm going to do this. I need to keep this 2 for the ride. So I'm going to introduce a set of brackets here. And then this first grouping inside the brackets, I want to factor out the GCF from x cubed plus 3x squared. What is the GCF there? So x squared, and then what's left from just the first 2 terms? X plus 3. Does everybody see that? And then remember, the idea behind factoring by grouping is in the second grouping, if it's going to work in the second grouping, you need to factor something out so that you get the same thing in parentheses left over. Is there a way to make that happen? You could factor out let's call it not a -4, a -4 to include the operation there. So factor out a -4. Put the minus in there. So a -4, and then what's left? Is it x plus 3 that's left? Then you know you're on the right track. Close bracket, close parenthesis, close bracket. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Inside those brackets, is that factored all the way? No, because outside those parentheses, there's a minus, right? You can't have a minus outside parentheses if it's going to be factored. So you don't have, inside those brackets, it's not factored all the way. So what I'm saying is inside here, it is not factored all the way yet. What do you have to pull out? The common factor of x plus 3 that you created. So you have to pull out, factor it out, this x plus 3. And so if you pull that out, then we have x plus 3. I'm pulling it out on the right. You can pull it out on the left. It doesn't matter. And then what's left from this term and this term, what's left when you pull out the x plus 3? X squared minus 4. And then wait, there's still the brackets and the 2. Now look, now that we factored the inside of those brackets, are the brackets necessary anymore? No, they were necessary in the intermediate steps though. Or in that one intermediate step. Okay, so you could, in other words, at this point, the brackets are unnecessary. You could write it like this. But then I have another question. Is this thing, and don't forget the equals 0, is this thing factored completely? No, because x squared minus 4 factors more. So if you want to factor it completely, which I expect you to do, you could get the right answer without factoring it anymore. But I expect you to factor it completely, okay? Because that's what I'm testing you on. I want to make sure you know how to do that. So how do you factor it completely? How does x squared minus 4 factor? X plus 2, that's the difference of 2 perfect squares, right? And then the x plus 3 stays there, the 2 stays there. Okay, so there's the complete factorization of the left side. I want you to show me that if I give you a question like this in the test. Okay, what do I do with each factor? Except for the 2, are you going to set the 2 equal to 0? No, that's nonsense, right? 2 is not equal to 0. So don't set a constant that's not 0 equal to 0. But you set the other guys equal to 0 by zero product rule. X plus 2 equals 0. Either x plus 2 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 3 equals 0. So what do you get? Yeah. So x equals -2 from this one, +2 from this one, -3 from this one. And you could write that as plus or minus 2, comma, negative 3 if you want. And it's an or statement that separates all of those solutions because you only have one solution at a time.
So the 2 is just irrelevant. It's out front.
The 2 is just a common factor. It's a constant. It doesn't affect when the polynomial equals 0, no.